Alright. I'll try to keep this short because I don't know how much battery I have. So, this is kind of like a testimony about why I stopped smoking weed. Okay. Okay, so let me start with how it all started. So, growing up, it was really nothing that was ever on my mind. My parents were really good at instilling in us to never smoke, never do drugs, never drink. It was never in the house, so I wasn't ever familiar with it. It was just never something we ever did. I never saw my family do it really. Like we would go over a cousin's house and they would like drink, but it was never any real point that it was never something that we did. Okay, so it was like really never even on my mind. But that all changed when I went to college. And if I'm looking down because I have notes, trying to keep me on track. So in college, that's when I met my dorm friends. And honestly, my dorm friends were the best part of college. Like, I missed them the most. If they're what I missed the most about college was my friends. I didn't really care too much about college. It was really my friends. They made the experience well worth being there. They were awesome. They were funny. They were the best. So, that was my first time I'd ever smoked. Was in college in one of my dorm friends' bathrooms. And I'll be honest, I liked it. I thought it was so fun. I thought it was hilarious. I thought everything was hilarious. The first time I did it, I didn't get that high, but the second time, because I had never gotten high before, so I wasn't really knowing what to expect. So I didn't really have any qualms about it. I didn't trip or anything. So when I had smoked, it was like the second time, I got really high and I actually started tripping a little bit. Like I had to like sit down on because we would smoke in his bathroom, and I know it's bad. Like, ooh, yeah, we would smoke in his bathroom, and it was fun. Like even though I was tripping, I was still having fun. Like it wasn't like a bad trip. It was kind of just like, oh, I just got really high for a second. All right, enough about that. So then, fast forward, I had been smoking, drinking in college. I had never done anything like that. I was like pure before I went to college. When I went to college, that's when everything kicked off, right? So, I would confide in my siblings, and my friends and my family. Like I would start bringing up like kind of talk to them about smoking, which were conversations we never had when we were growing up. But then I started to realize that like pretty much everybody in my life smoked or has smoked before or has been high. So that was very interesting, and it actually and like did edibles and everything. So I thought it was okay. Like there was such easy access to it. Like everybody was doing it around me. Like I would get weed from family members. I really never had to pay for anything, except for like gear, like pieces, like glass pieces, like bongs and stuff. So yeah, I always had easy access to it, and everybody else was doing it, and they were fine. I have people in my life that were doing it, and they're successful. So yeah. And I would like make edibles with my family, and yeah, I after and then we can fast forward some more. So then I'm not good at story times. Okay, I've never done something like this before. It's my first time doing like a story time testimony thing. So sorry if things aren't like really that cohesive or making that much sense. I'm trying to keep on track. Okay, anyways. So then fast forward some more. This is after I had already like left school. And I was kind of just really not doing much for a year. I think I had started working. I basically was high for a year. That's what I like to say. And it was like, it was mainly, I would mainly smoke with my brother, my sister, and my friend. At the time, my best friend at the time. And we just smoked like every day. Like she would come over, my friend would come over, and we, like when she was over, we would smoke. My sister, me and my little sister would smoke, which I kind of feel bad because I feel like I kind of roped my sister into it, my little sister into it. She was kind of like me. She never did anything. I think she said, well, actually, let me not tell on her. But, yeah, like, we never did anything. Then all of a sudden, we were, like, smoking every day for a year. Like, it was really schools what kicked it off for me. So we were smoking every day for a year. I kind of adopted this, like, black, hippie, kind of stoner persona. I actually was making content on YouTube about smoking. And it was actually pretty successful, and I was thinking I could like maybe even make a career out of stuff like that. It wasn't with my face or anything. It was like, it was some other type of stoner content. But I was like, hey, I mean, this stuff is pretty cool. I mean, like, it's kind of crazy how a plant can give you such an experience. I don't know, like, such a, what's the word? Like a cosmic experience? I don't know. It's kind of crazy how like a plant can give you such spiritual experiences, can make you feel so enlightened. And I was kind of getting into this headspace where I was like, this stuff is awesome. Like, really? As long as I have weed, like, life's gonna be pretty awesome. But yeah, you can have such interesting experiences on it. It made music sound better. It made food taste better. It made moments of my life that were already great even better. You know, it was really fun for a time. And then I got into carts. Honestly, if it wasn't for carts, I'd probably still be smoking today. And I'll tell you why. So, first let's start why I even started smoking carts. And when I say carts, I'm not talking like vapes or anything, but you know, like dab pens and stuff. So the reason I started smoking them was because I like being high, so I wanted to be high everywhere. I wanted to be high anytime I wanted to be high, and I wanted to do it discreetly because my mom still didn't know I was smoking. Like, she kind of knew, but I was kind of hiding it from her, sort of. Like, I wasn't really hiding it. It was just like, I didn't want it to be all in her face, you know, because she didn't like it. Of course, I love my mom. She's a big reason why I stopped. God really used her to pull me out of that. So I wanted to be high whenever and wherever. So I would literally like bring it to work. I would be high at work. I felt like it was making my job easier, but looking back, it was really making things tougher. I would have to like go to the bathroom to hit my pen, and it was just like, at the time it was like, this is great. And I don't know, I would be so high, like my eyes would be like so red, and I would just be talking to customers, and I would just be like I would be so high. It's crazy how I was even functioning. But yeah, but I was doing fine. I was killing it even while I was high. But then the bad stuff started happening, I guess. Like, I started seeing the downside of pens. Like, I started getting headaches. I developed this like cough, sort of. It sounded horrible. It sounded like I had been smoking for like 60 years. Like, it was like a cough like I had never had. It was like I would cough and it would be like, like, it was bad. I would cough at work and I'd be like, it was bad. It was like deep in my throat, like, But yeah, and then I started like, carts were giving me paranoia too. Like, I never really had paranoia when I would smoke like actual weed. And I started to kind of make a distinction between carts and actual weed. Like, I would think, okay, well, carts, they kind of suck. Like, they're kind of terrible for you, but hey, weed is fine. You know, it's natural. When I would smoke weed, it would be like a different type of high. Like I'd be all relaxed and chill, you know, and I wouldn't feel so bad when I would come down. But with carts, I would get like headaches, and then I would have that terrible cough, and I would have like paranoia. And there was actually this one time, I thought, I don't know, maybe he did. I thought that my brother had like stole a part of my cart or something, like stole a cart from me, because I put it above my bed, like right up there. I would sleep with it like right up above my bed, right? So then I thought my brother had taken it because my brother is also a stoner. So actually, you know what? I'm just gonna cut this part out. Let's not get into this. All right. Well, I guess to make a long story short, let me just say that it worsened my relationship with my brother for a time. Like, we had gotten a really bad argument over that stupid cart. Like, oh my gosh. I was like yelling at him and cursing at him. He was yelling at me, cursing at me. It was like stupid. It wasn't worth it. And I look back at it and I'm just like, that was dumb. But anyways, this is when God started to pull me out, right? Where he started to wake me up. So, you know, I thought that weed in general was making, you know, moments in my life better, was making socializing easier. But really it's not really truly you, I guess. Like, cause it's like you're high, like, you know, I don't know how to explain this. I guess because I'm on camera, I don't really know what I'm talking about, but, you know, like, I feel like I needed to make moments better and socializing easier. Yeah, I just felt like I needed it to make moments better and socializing easier, right? And then I would watch, sober YouTubers, like YouTubers that were really happy. They seemed like so happy with their life. At least, you know, YouTubers that say that they're sober, you know, they just seem like they were so happy. And they weren't smoking weed, they weren't drinking, but they were still like so happy. And it made me start to think about how in my past I never needed these things like weed to be happy. Weed or drinking. I was never really like a big drinker. I never really did anything else but smoke weed. That was like probably the biggest stronghold on my life was weed. But I was just thinking about how when I was younger I never needed any of those things. They were never even a thought in my brain. Like, you know, I was happy even without them. And I wanted to get back to that. Like kind of childlike happiness and joy for life without drugs. So I started praying to God to help me. Of course, because I was also on my spiritual journey too. Like once I got out of school, that's when I started to really like pray a lot and try to figure out like, you know, is God real? Like I knew God was real, but it was more like trying to really solidify that he was real in my brain, and also trying to figure out if God is real, is he the God of the Bible, right? So I was coming to that realization God was saving me and pulling me out. So I was praying to God to help me. And I started getting convicted. I would watch videos like on YouTube. I'd be like, is weed bad according to Bible? And every time I watch a video and they were like, yeah, so the Bible says be of sober mind. And basically they would say, yes, it's bad. You need to stop. And I would kind of feel like I did not like hearing that. I was kind of searching for people to say, yeah, I'm a Christian, or like kind of find people that would justify my sin, basically, because I still liked being high. I still had fun doing it, but you know, God was starting to slowly pull me out. So then I started to not be able to get high like how I used to. Like I had paranoia, especially when I started with the carts, but the paranoia was getting bad. Like Well, I mean, I'm kind of stressing it, but it was getting uncomfortable. Like, I would be high, and then I would be thinking that somebody's gonna come to our house and like break in our house, or like, just stupid stuff. I was just paranoid. Like, I was just paranoid. It made me think like terrible thoughts about the intentions of people, and it made me not feel safe when I was high, and nobody wants to feel like that when they're high. Like, no. So then, one day, I started just really feeling convicted, and I gave away my bong to my brother, my weed addicted brother, which I regret. But I don't know, all things work for the good, right? Because I had spent actually, let me go ahead into the story, right? So my mom had found, my first bong that I bought, I actually bought it with another family member. Goes back to how, like, it was just so easy for me, It was such an easy thing to pick up for me. So I had bought this bong, and it was by some brand, I think it's called like Aliens Monkey or something brand. And it was like the craziest thing. Like, it was like one of those like science lab looking bongs. Like, it was a one hitter. It was crazy, right? But my mom didn't know I had it. So I had put it in the garage, kind of let air out one day, and I forgot to take it out the garage. And my mom was so mad when she found it. I got in like a bad argument with her. We were like yelling at each other. It was bad. I was acting like such a brat. But I spent like $115 on that bong. And like, I loved it because I could hit it once and I would be like so high. But so I was like pretty upset when she just threw it away. Like, she was like, I'm throwing it away. I was like, no. So when she threw that away, I was like, I'm gonna get another one. So I went and got another one, and I think I spent about the same amount, but it was like a bit more simple. And I would smoke out of that one. But then God brought me to give it away. I was gonna throw it out my window right here, and just let it drop, because on the second story, just let it drop on our patio and like shatter. That's what I was thinking about doing. But then when I was in the midst of like getting rid of it, one day my brother, he came into my room and he was like, wait, don't get rid of it, give it to me. So I was like, okay. So I gave it to him, and I shouldn't have done that. I should have just thrown it away or smashed it or something, because he uses it all the time. So yeah, that's my fault. Well, I don't know if he uses it anymore, because he was never the cleanest with his bongs. So I think he kind of stopped using it when it wasn't clean anymore. He didn't want to clean it. But yeah, I kind of regret that. So then after I threw that away, I kind of just disconnected from smoking for like a few months. Like, God had transformed my heart and my mentality around smoking, and I was no longer trying to pretend that it was of any good to me. So I was sober. I could say that I was sober for like half a year, I think. For a little while. It was a few months. It was a good chunk of time. Like, I never thought that I would ever be somebody that says I'm sober, because I had always been sober like my whole life. I had never done drugs. I never drank. I never done any of that stuff until I went to college. So it was kind of weird to say, kind of come to terms with the fact that I'm sober now. You know what I'm saying? Not that there's anything wrong with that. That's a blessing to be sober. I think my camera's about to die. So annoying. I spent so much money on this camera, and I don't know how to keep it from dying. Like, it's so annoying. Like, how do I charge it? Like, they gave me a charger, but when I charge it, it only stays charged for like freaking an hour. Like, it barely, like, I don't know. I'm new to camera stuff. I'm new. So I don't know. We'll just go until it dies. So let me see if I can speak through this. So then I went through like a little holier than thou kind of era in my life with my family, and I was like basically calling my family out for like all their sins, and just, it was kind of a cringy time in my life. Kind of cringe. And during this time, I actually got caught by my mom for smoking, which is so hypocritical, because I was going around and saying this, that, third about my family, while at the same time I'm smoking. Like I wasn't at the time that I was saying that stuff, but then I ended up getting caught smoking like not too long after, when I came back home from work one day. And so then I kind of fell back into the whole smoking thing. It wasn't as bad as it was before because I still kind of had that, oh girl, you're a hypocrite you're a hypocrite. Like, so I had conviction and I knew it was wrong and I had like a new outlook. All right. So then I started praying again. And then one day the kind of the same thing happened. God just told me, throw it away. Just throw all your smoking stuff away. Whatever you got, throw it away. So then I threw my cart away one day. And that was like the biggest thing for me because the cart was so convenient. It was like always there for me. So when I threw that away, it kind of like really made it easier, just to stop, and to be delivered. So then over time, I just started throwing stuff away. And a while ago, I got this pipe from a family member when I told him I was smoking. And he was like, I guess like kind of proud of me. I don't even know. Like, I guess he always knew that I would start doing it one day. I guess I gave off those vibes. So he gave me like a pipe as a present. It was my first pipe. It was this really nice gravity pipe. So I even threw that away, and I had qualms about throwing it away because it was like a gift. It was like a family gift, so I didn't want to. But this is the thing for everybody. If you have something that somebody gave you, like a boyfriend, or somebody in your life that you love or loved once, but you gotta let it go because at the end of the day, what's most important is God and His will for your life. You just need to throw it away. Just throw it away. It's just a thing. Okay, so anyways. So, I did kind of get high a couple times after this because I was kind of going through, okay, no more weed. So I told myself I'm never going to smoke again. So no like ganja, no green, and no like carts. So I didn't smoke anymore, but I still took an edible or two, or a few edibles, like here and again. But even then, God started to take that desire away from me. I used to say things like, if my husband and I don't vibe while we're high, like we, stuff like that, like stupid stuff like that. Like, now I'm like, my husband, whoever he is, I don't even want him. Ideally, it'd be great if he hasn't even touched those things before, because I want to live in a sober relationship. I don't want my kids to be around it. I kind of want my kids to grow up like how I did. Like, their parents never smoked, or, they never brought that into the house. Maybe when they were younger, they kind of messed around, stuff like that. But, it was never, like, even a thought in their brain. I don't want to set that example for my kids. So I want my husband to also kind of even be stronger than me in that sense, to be like, we're not even doing this. It's not even going to be a thought. To kind of lead me in that way. So, let's see, at the last of my notes. So here is my little call to action. If you're struggling like how I was, just ask God to deliver you and He will. It literally doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter how long you've been doing it. The journey can be tough. There's a lot of things that I didn't put in here. I can't really think about what they are. I wrote notes to try to hit the most important points. But it's not easy to let go of strongholds. They're called strongholds for a reason. But if you just pray to God, He will deliver you. He is stronger than anything that you're going through. He will deliver you from it. Pray for others to be delivered. Because even though I stopped smoking, my little sister stopped smoking, hallelujah, she kind of followed suit with me in that. Others in your life might still do it. People that are close to you, people that you love, people that influence you. So, pray for them. Because prayer does work, even if you don't see the change. So, like, I'm praying for my brother a lot, to just drop it. That God delivers him or those other people in my life, like how He delivered me. And He loves them just as much as He loves you, so He will do it. So, don't give up. The prayers of the righteous availeth much. And also have grace for those struggling. Love and grace. And that's one thing God is helping me with, especially with my brother. Like, just having grace. Like, okay, I don't want to smell it. Sometimes I smell it when he smokes it. I don't want to smell it. Like, even that's one thing. Like, I used to not care about the smell of weed. But then, like, when I did smoke, if anything, when I smelled it on people, I was like, hey, I don't know what's up. But then when I stopped smoking, I was just like, you know what? This stuff stinks. This stuff smells like crap. So when I smell it, it kind of irks me a little bit. But, you know, I just gotta realize that, you know, I was once in that position. Like the Bible says, such were some of you, you know. So he will deliver. He deliver. Yes, you do. Won't he do it? He said he would. So yeah, maybe I don't have like the craziest testimony. I mean, there's things that have happened. Maybe I'll make another video going a little bit more into detail. This isn't like my full testimony, of course. This is just about weed. I feel like it's time to make this video. I feel like I'll never smoke again. I have no desire to. So, yeah, I just thought I should just sit down and make this video. Let me not make this video any longer than it already is. This is probably the longest video I've ever recorded. It says 41 minutes. It doesn't feel like that. Okay, I see why people are like, oh my gosh, I'm recording. But it doesn't feel like that at all. I feel like I've been recording for like 10 minutes. Little doggo is sleeping over here. Precious little Leo, he's the best. So yeah, peace, I guess. Hallelujah. I will make videos, more videos, and more testimonies.